Hi guys, welcome to my channel once again. This is Battle Up with Ola and my name is Mujala Olua. Today I want to talk about a very important topic that's an offshoot of the last topic for the last video. If you haven't watched it, please go and watch. I'll leave a link to it in the description box. I hope you do watch it. I want to talk about related rights. But before I go on, I'd like to say that if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, like the videos, leave me comments in the comment section. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back again. I hope that you keep coming. Of course, do well also to subscribe and leave me comments in the comment section and like the videos. Thank you so much. I want to talk about related rights today because I promised to talk about this in my last video. In the last video, I spoke about copyrights, and related rights are an offshoot of copyrights. So I'm going to talk about related rights in this video, and in the next video, I'm going to talk about the doctrine of fair use, talking about the lawsuit involving Tracy Chapman and Nicki Minaj. I hope you come and watch it when it drops. But today, let's talk about related rights. Related rights are the rights of persons who contribute in one way or the other to the production and distribution of copyright protected works. So for instance, producers, performers, broadcasters, and what have you, they have rights too that are protected under the law. Now, those rights are not copyrights per se, but they are related to copyrights. That's why they're called related rights. So if there were no copyrights, there would be no related rights. So essentially, copyrights give rise to related rights. And related rights are generally grouped into three. That's the right of producers, the right of performers, and the right of broadcasters. We are going to take them one after the other, but essentially, you have to know that they are neighboring rights to copyrights. So there has to be an existence of a copyrighted work or a copyright protected work before there can be a related right based on that copyright. Let's talk about the right of producers. Who are producers? Producers are people who produce copyrighted works or works that are covered by copyright. Those are producers of films, movies, songs, artistic works generally. They have rights under the law. The law rewards them for their financial and structural contributions to the production of artworks in commercial quantities and formats. So the law protects the rights of other people to distribute their works, to broadcast their works, and to share and proliferate their works as they please. So if I were a producer, for instance, maybe I produced a music video for an artist. Now, the artist has his own copyright, but I have a related right. That's the right of a producer. So if anyone wanted to engage in probably mass production, reproduction, or mass distribution or redistribution of that work, they have to be licensed by me. So that's related rights. What the law seeks to do here is to reward them for their efforts, their time, and their own contributions in the production of works that are covered by copyrights. Like we said in the copyright video, works that are covered are artistic works, literary works, scientific works, and the scope keeps expanding by the day. But essentially, the creative inventions of the mind that are covered by the copyright law are protected, and they can give rise to, related rights. So that's the rights of producers. Producers have a right to prevent the unlicensed sale or production or distribution of their work. They have a right to prevent the unlicensed sale or distribution of the works that they have produced. That's the basic summary of their rights under the law. Now we go to the right of performers. Who are performers? Performers are those who perform, artistic works, like those who sing the song. You know that for a song to be completely delivered, there has to be probably a lyricist who has written the work. There are some producers who put the beats on the work and all of that, and generally what goes on in the entertainment scene. For instance, Ebenezer Obey Commander, one of my favorite artists, by the way, could have performed a song that was not written by him. It means that if someone else has written the work, is sharing copyrights with the person. His own now is a related right because he merely performs the work, the song, or someone else has written it, someone else has put a beat on it, and someone is going to produce it eventually and all the shebang, but he is the one performing it. So he has a right under the law called the right of performers. The right of performers is the provision of the law to protect the artistic efforts of those who, literally breathe life into artistic works. They are the ones who make the work come alive. So, for instance, actors in a movie, they don't own the movie, they do not own the scripts, and the direction and all of that, but they act the movie. They act, the script out. They put life into the script, into the story. So they have rights protected under the law. That's the right of performers. So singers, actors, and what have you have this right under the law, and it is one of the groupings of related rights. And of course, the third and not the least is the right of broadcasters. Broadcasters are those who broadcast the work. Broadcasters are the persons and the platforms who publicize works of art. They are the ones who publicize creative works, especially as regards distribution and mass distribution of the work. So you know that if an artistic work or a creative work has been put together, if it is not distributed or spread far and wide by broadcasters, it does not achieve its end at the end of the day because the target audience cannot get it. So broadcasters are those people who make sure that after producers have produced, performers have performed, they are the ones who get it to the target audience. They are the ones who complete the end, the journey of the artistic works. So the law protects their own rights too. Their rights to publicize the work is protected by the law. Those are the three broad categories of related rights. Now, related rights are so called because they relate to copyright. So they are rights on their own, but they are given rights to by existing copyrights. So for instance, the example that I gave, that probably someone wrote a song and Ebenezer Obey Commander now sings it. The lyricist, the person that has written the work, already has copyright. I mentioned in the copyright video that once a work of art, a creative work, an artistic work, or a literary work, or a scientific code, or program has been created, it is automatically protected. You do not need to register it before it's protected by the copyright law. So it's already protected by the copyright law. So those people who create it have their rights under the law, which protects them. But then people like performers, like Ebenezer Obey in this instance, who give life to it, also have their own rights on the basis of the rights of the person that has created it from scratch. So as regards the right of producers, related rights, the right of producers prohibits unlicensed or unauthorized mass production of literary or artistic works. They also protect performed work from unlicensed rebroadcast and reproduction, and of course they protect broadcast work from unlicensed rebroadcasting and reproduction. So it's important for me to mention at this point that related rights are more economic in flavor. That is, they seek to actually remunerate the producers, the broadcasters, and the performers rather than precluding other people from producing, performing, or broadcasting those works. You know that for copyright, it precludes other people from unlicensed exploitation or reproduction or replication of the work. But in the case of related rights, it's more about remunerating or rewarding people that have exerted themselves in the production and broadcasting and performing of literary and artistic works rather than precluding the whole world from doing same. So I hope that you get the balance that I'm trying to point out. Under the Rome Convention, related rights are protected for 20 years from the initial date of production, broadcast, or performance. The TRIPS Agreement, however, protects the rights of broadcasters for 20 years and the rights of performers and producers for 50 years. Under the Beijing Treaty and the WPPT, the rights are protected for 50 years. Just like copyright, where related rights have been infringed upon, an action can be brought for infringement of the rights. And of course, it could be a civil matter or a criminal matter. The bottom line is that related rights just like copyrights and like intellectual property rights generally, seek to encourage, invention, innovation in the society, and it seeks to protect those who have exerted themselves in, pursuing and developing and creating these inventive works and rewarding them at the same time. And of course, it prevents the undue, unlicensed, and unauthorized reproduction and exploitation of these rights by third parties, by the whole world in general. So these are related rights. Make sure you watch the video on copyrights for a proper understanding of what related rights are. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about the doctrine of fair use, which is basically an exemption given by the law concerning copyrights for people to actually use works that are protected by copyrights to a certain extent without being licensed by the copyright owner. It's going to be a very interesting video, as I'm going to be talking about, the legal drama between Tracy Chapman and Nicki Minaj. I will see you in that very video. Toodles!